You have worked in a huge variety of styles, but there's a recognizable element to a lot of your music, and particularly, I think when people think of your sort of musical personality, they probably are thinking about the work that you did and have done for Tim Burton. So do you think you express a little bit more of yourself personally in your scores for Tim Burton?
Well, I mean, obviously, having done 13 films, and then the next closest competitor behind would be 3. I've had many, many more opportunities to express myself with him, and I think, especially the first decade I worked with him, everything in my career was defined by every movie he did. Because first I was the comedy guy, then came Beetlejuice, and then I became the quirky guy, and then after Batman, I said, well, we can do big films too. Then after Edward Scissorhands, well, we can give them a romance too. So it's like every one of his films was allowing more doors to open for me. So he was allowing me access to everything, which is all I ever wanted, because I really didn't want to be the comedy guy or just the quirky guy wherever. I can't bear doing just one thing. Tim has allowed me to move around quite a bit. I'm grateful that between Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Big Fish, there's been quite a bit of ground I've been able to cover with him. But he's also, just in terms of my entire career, allowed me the access to write in a way that would open up more doors for me to do what I needed to do, which is hopefully get to the point where I can write any kind of score. That's what I wanted when I started.
Does anyone in the audience have questions for Tim Burton?
Not Tim Burton. I can't answer for Tim.
There's a man rush to the microphone. Who are you?
Yes, my dear.
I feel like the Inquisitor up here, Christopher Lee in Sleepy Hollow.
You are at the front of the line. Well, why don't we listen? She was daring.
Yeah, but it's
Let's
okay.
let
Let
her
me
ask
ask
questions.
questions on her.
Oh, good plan.
Take her away.
Take her to Detroit.
The rat. Rat her.
I apologize for being daring, and my first question for you is, do you hear music in your head?
Yes, unfortunately, all the time. No, seriously. I hear music all the time. Rage isn't healthy. Because, and if there's music playing in the room, I can't not be aware of it. It's weird. Like, I can't function in restaurants or bars because I can't tune out whatever's playing. And I get loops in my head all the time. Sometimes it's what I'm working on, and sometimes it's like a jingle to an advertisement. There's another reason why I try not to watch commercial television, because if I see ads, it's dangerous. Anything can get stuck in my head, and then it kind of drives me nuts.
And the second thing I want to tell you is that I listened to This Is Halloween to inspire a story I wrote.
Oh, it inspired anything other than depression and anxiety. Thank you.
We salute your daring.
And
Take her away.
Before I ask, I just want to say for the record, it's high time you get an Oscar because I think John Williamson, Hans Zimmer, and then some other hats for whatever reason.
well, I'm happy not having an Oscar, but thank you for your thoughts. I probably was the only composer out there relieved not to get on stage 4 times. And there was one moment where I really got scared. It's when I'd done Men in Black, and just before they announced the names, a cameraman ran down the aisle and focused his camera right on me. And I thought, crap, did they tell them anything? I really started to sweat. And then full Monty won. I just was really relieved.
So, I would like to how you did for The Simpsons, and how come you were how come Hans Zimmer was chosen over you for
I know that kind of music is really fun, but I've done it a lot, and it's what I call mock music, because you're mock scary and mock serious and mock dramatic, and it's really fun to listen to, but it's not all that fun to do. And secondly, I think he had a long-standing relationship with Jim Brooks, and he called me before he did it, and I gave him my blessing, and I was actually happy that he was doing it. And, I was probably content to be doing some weird, depressing little film somewhere, and was happy doing it, so it all worked out fine.
Sort of two questions. One, I've always been insatiably curious if you could shed any light on the switch from Carrie Acts to John Avila and Michael Boyko, like why did that happen? And then also, my second part is Seth. It's not a clear comment, I didn't get into something. And then the other thing is there any possibility of any Boyko Boyko reissues, remasters, things like that?
I can't answer the first question because I don't remember. I have no idea. You gotta remember, between the Mystic Knights, which went for like almost 8 years, I think we had probably almost 25 different players go through there, and Boingo Boingo. There was a lot of players, including the beginning, leading to what finally ended up being a more stable group. And I can't tell you, other than I was used to every 2 years somebody leaving and somebody else coming in, and it was just kind of normal for me at that period still. Reissues, I don't know. It's not up to me. It's like anybody remasters or reissues stuff. You know, unfortunately, I mean, we pretty much released every tune we recorded, so there's no treasure chest of unrecorded tunes. Not like Jimi Hendrix, where they're still coming up with unreleased stuff. So, I don't know whether that's ever going to happen. Sorry.
Thank you.
Two I don't know. It's too big, confident, I don't know.
Okay, so my question was, out of everything, like in your band, Boingo Boingo, and all the movies that you've done, what is your favorite song?
That's also a hard one because I tend to hate every song I've written as soon as I've written it really quickly, and I never want to hear them again. So I've always been a little bit kind of pathological that way. I didn't save tapes, I didn't save my own records. I never listened to any of my own soundtracks until I had to do compilations or do something with it. So I'm very weird about ever listening to anything I've ever done. If I had to pick a song that sticks with me, you know, that's like picking a favorite movie or a favorite score. But maybe I'd have to say Jack's Lament. You're welcome.
Hello, I'd just like to say thank you for coming today and gracing us with your presence. And I wanted to ask you that when you're composing, do the notes and phrases have a certain color or smell or flavor to them in your mind? Or do you go for more of the feel?
Well, if there was a taste or flavor with the notes, they'd all be bitter. Fortunately, I don't have a highly evolved taste that way. No, I don't really have any association. I mean, I know I've read that people do see colors and taste things when they hear or see notes, but I don't see anything. It's just gray out there. I'm searching. It's more like digging in mud.